Hey guys, Long Haul Larry, Big Blue. We are actually sitting here in Berks, Pennsylvania at a Flying J. I'm going to mess around today. I'm going to do some things. I got to do some things on my computer. I need Wi-Fi, so I figured I'd just spend a day here at the Flying J. I don't deliver till tomorrow morning. So I figured I'd just spend a day here and use the Wi-Fi at the Flying J and try to get some of that done. I also might do start doing the install on my horn. I don't think I have everything to get it completed, but I think that I can probably get most of it installed, and then I'll pick up whatever else I need and stuff. So I thought I would do a answering comment video. I haven't done one of these in a while. It is Sunday, September 8th, 2019, and I thought maybe I'd do an answering comment video. So without further ado, we got, some of these are from a while ago. Tanya from Australia, and speaking of Australia, yeah, Richie, I showed him this hat and said, hey, look at, I got your flag. Yeah, it wasn't his flag. It says Australia right on it. Yeah, I know. A lot of people decided they needed to tell me that, but yeah, so it is what it is. I don't know every country's flag. But Tanya from Australia says, hi Larry, I've been watching you since you started making videos. Would you please tell us what all the dials and gauges in your truck do? I am not a truck driver and I am interested. Thank you in advance. Sure. So what we got here is, this one here is the volts. This tells the battery level. This one here is oil pressure, and it'll tell the oil pressure of the engine. Usually it runs around 40. That's usually what it runs at. You got your water pressure down here. You know, 185. When it hits 200, then the engine fan will kick on. You got your RPM for your engine RPMs. You got your fuel gauge down here for the tanks. You got your speedometer right here. This one here is the brake air that is being applied. It's not. See if I don't have my key on, but if I press on the brake, then this will go up and tell me how much pressure I'm putting in. Usually when I'm braking and stuff, it goes up around 25. I try to keep it below 25 so when I'm burning up brakes. This one here is my air pressure, and it tells how much air this truck has in it in the air tanks. And there's two needles. There's a green and an orange one. They're together. And one of them is for the trailer and one of them is for the truck. This is my DEF tank fuel level. Over here I got, this is the front drive axle temperature gauge, which I never use because I don't pull a lot of big hills. This one here is my rear drive axle temperature gauge, my transmission temperature gauge, and then this one here is my load scale that I installed, and you can see it's broken. I actually had a box. I had a filter that the boss bought me, wanted me to install a new filter, had it up on the top bunk sitting up there, and I didn't have my cargo net on it, holding the stuff in there. And I had to do a brake check. Somebody slammed on the brakes. I slammed on the brakes, and that filter came flying all the way up here, hit my arm. Had it sitting, I had my arm on the shifter, it hit my arm, bounced up here and hit this, and it just cracked it. Still works fine and everything. Down here, pretty much, you know, you got your stereo, which doesn't even work. You got your traction control, which I have never used, and I'm from Wisconsin, running ice and stuff. I've just never used it. This one here is for my speedometer, is for my cruise control, which I hate. I wish it was on the steering wheel, but it's not, because you got to reach down here all the time. And this turns it on, and then this, you got your set and resume. This one here is for your engine fan. It'll kick it on, or the engine brake, the Jake brake. This turns the Jake brake on and off, and then this is the level of the Jake brake that's being applied. It's all the way up is high, then you got a medium and a low. And then this one here, this button here kicks, will kick the Big Blue into a regen. And then you got all your temperature controls for the heating and AC. And here is my dash dirty. Here is my suspension deflate, which doesn't work. I gotta figure this out. This one here is for my, it locks up my two axles, because usually only one axle's actually got power to it. So if I flip this one, and both axles have power. Excuse me. This one here is for the fifth wheel unlock. And this one here is for the fifth wheel unlock that lets the fifth wheel slide back and forth. And then over here, this is just for the lights to turn make the lights in the dash brighter and dimmer. This one turns the floor lights on, and this one here does a check light. If you flip this up, it cycles between all the lights, makes the headlights go dim, bright, and flashers flash, and it does a whole cycle, so you can walk around and check all the headlights and lights together and stuff. So that's pretty much it. And then you got all your lights up here, and then this is your dome light inside the truck, and the flashers. Well, there we go. It was kind of a lengthy one, but there's my snow bike. I dream about having one of those. These are my pictures. Oh, this is, look at this. This is kind of a cool truck. I found this. It's actually sitting in Kewaskum, Wisconsin. This guy custom built this thing. It's pretty cool. And I was sitting outside of a body shop. It's pretty cool, actually. All right. Dana Pittman. When you have more than one stop, do you tell the receiving people when they get to the first stop just so they understand that it's not all theirs? Yes, I usually do that. If you don't, sometimes I have done that in the past. I forgot to do that, and then I'll go in there, and most of the time it's okay, but sometimes they'll take off a bunch of stuff and it'll be like, you have overages or whatever. It's like, no, it's not yours. I have other stops. Oh, you know, you kind of want to make sure when you go in, and if you have multiple stops, you go into the first one, hey, you know, you guys only got 5 or 6 pallets, whatever. You know, I got a bunch of stops after this. Okay, they appreciate it when you let them know that stuff. Richard Wood. Let's see. How's your quitting smoking going, Larry? Hope it's still going strong. Good luck and safe travels. It's going. It is one thing that I do fight with, I will tell you that much. I'm not a big drinker. I don't have problems with drinking. I really don't drink that much. Maybe once, twice a year, I may have a few drinks socially or something, but I'm not a big drinker or something. You know, I don't really have bad attributes, I guess, in life, you know, but smoking is one. I don't know what it is, but it's, John said to me one time, he says, yeah, he says, you know, this is, I guess we all got to have one bad thing. He goes, with me it's eating, and with you it's smoking. And I'm like, yeah, well, we both need to stop both of them. So, well, he doesn't need to stop eating, but you get what I mean. But yeah, it's been going on. Once in a while I do slip up, and then it's like, oh man, you know, and throw them away and go through another day or two, you know, messing around and stuff. So, but yeah, it's a never ending thing with me and stuff. Hopefully after, you know, 6 months it'll get all better. But yeah, it's still going on, still holding in there. Sean, that's how I say Sean, isn't it? Shawn Gibbons. Larry, why did you and John give up being owner-operators? I gave up being owner-operator because I was going through a divorce. That's basically the reason. I owned a trucking company, and I saw the divorce coming, and I shut it down because I kind of knew that she would probably take me to court, and I would end up having to pay alimony and everything else for years and years, and I'd be just, you know, she'd never get remarried because I'd be supporting her for the rest of her life. So to be real honest, I shut it down, sold most of the stuff, and kind of shut the thing down and went to work as a company driver. That way I had just a rate, you know, I had a certain amount and couldn't be messed around with. So that's the main reason why. I will go back to it. I am more of my own boss type of person. Why did John give it up? I'll tell you, I don't know. That's probably something for John to answer, but I will tell you what I think it is. I think it's because he's not into his maintenance. He doesn't do it on his own, and it costs a lot of money. And he ended up, he actually, he blew up a couple trucks. And the last truck, he actually brought it over by me, and he wanted me to do brakes on it and some ABS sensors and stuff. I did all this. He had some new tires put on it, fixed it. I mean, he's put thousands of dollars in this. He took off with a load, and I think he went out to Connecticut or something like that. And he called me up, and he was on his way home, and he went out there, and the crank turned. The crank twisted in the engine block, and he had to get towed there, and it was a huge towing bill or something, and they checked it over and said the motor's junk, and he was just like, I'm out of here. And so he was actually leased on with WL, and he just called WL and said, hey, how about I just come work for you as a company driver? my truck blew up, I'm done. And I said, sure. And so he became a company driver. I think that's the main reason why, but you probably have to ask him that. That's for him. But I think that's the main reason why is because if you don't do a lot of your own maintenance and stuff like that when you're an owner operator out here, it can get really expensive. I know another guy who did it, and I mean, this guy, any kind of rattle, shake, or something like this, he would have his truck in the shop. And he did it for almost a year, and I bet you he spent probably 7 months of that year sitting in shops, waiting to get worked on, paying all kinds of money, complaining about everything, and it's like, it's you need to be able to do a lot of that work yourself. So, Jay, he says, when you're stuck at a warehouse, how that long do they have bathrooms for drivers? Yeah, most warehouses, most delivery and pickup places, they'll have a bathroom situation for the drivers. There's a couple that don't. I've seen a few that don't have something. Some of them, they might have like porta potties out there, and some of them I've seen don't have anything. But yeah, they kind of need to have some, but most of them do. There's that. Okay, we'll just deal with this. I think there's a lot of people that ask this question. It's a pretty common one. Brian King, he says, Larry, I've done that with my truck more than once. Glad you got it in there. Have a good trip coming back from Texas. What is a lumper bill? Okay. A lumper is a business. What it is it is a company that provides a service at receivers that when a truck driver comes in there with a load, it is brought in there, and when the shipper loads up the load, the pallets are stacked up as high as they can get them into the truck to get the most on each pallet because there's so much room in the truck. They're trying to take advantage of all the room that they paid for the shipment. So they're trying to get as much as they can in there. So they'll have a pallet, but it'll be 6-7 feet tall with product and everything. And what happens is when you get to the receiver ordered the product, but they order it so that maybe it has 5 layers on a pallet. Because in their warehouse, they have shelving, and when they take the pallet and they put it in there, it will only fit 5 layers high. And so what happens is when you pull that pallet off, your pallet may have 8 layers on it. And so what happens is the top 3 layers is going to have to come off. And it goes onto another pallet. And then you do that in each one. You keep stacking them all together. You separate product, everything else. And when it's all done, then the receiver goes through there and checks in everything. When you check in, they'll give you a sheet, what's called a tie-high sheet. And it's how many boxes are on a layer and how high the pallet is going to be. And it used to be, it was really kind of outrageous. It was more kind of like a union type of thing and stuff. And then it became not, and then it became a lot of drivers were doing it, and the drivers would come in there and they could break it all down and you could make extra money doing that. But then the companies started going, well, you work for us, yeah, you can break the load down, but we're going to pay you $30 to do this. And then you go in there and talk to the lumper, and the lumper would say, yeah, it's going to be $285 to do this. And you contact your company and you're like, yeah, the lumper says it's $285. Oh yeah, we'll pay the lumper service $285, but we'll pay you $30. It's kind of a crock. And so I don't know. I think that the receivers, they want the lumpers to do it because they're maybe a little bit faster. They know what they're doing, so they don't be asking questions. It's in and out type of thing. So they kind of want them guys to do it in the first place. But it's a whole farce, you know, and it's a whole deal. Is it necessary? Yes, it is. It is a necessary thing. But here's the problem with it. Why is the truck driver in the middle of it? Why am I going there and hiring a lumper and I have to pay the lumper with checks or whatever, cash, and get reimbursed? Why am I in the middle of it? the shipper, you know, the receiver orders the product a certain way. The shipper puts it all on there the way they want to get the most product in there. That's their deal. And the thing is that the receiver, the shipper will pay whatever it costs to break this for the lumper service. I don't pay that. My boss don't pay that. The broker doesn't pay that. It goes back to the shipper, and he pays that on the load. So as long as there's a receipt and everything. The thing is why isn't that worked out beforehand? Why put the trucker and the company and everything in the middle of it? Why don't we haul the load and then they send it to the company and say, hey, you owe us $250 for breaking this load down, or blah, 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 whatever. And we just sign something saying it's been broken down. You know, that's the whole deal with it. Is it necessary? Yes, it is a necessary thing. Lumpers are a necessary thing. Sometimes they can be a real pain in the butt. I mean, sometimes it's $350 and it's a half an hour work. It's like, really? Come on. You know, but whatever. So there you go. A lot of people have questions about lumpers. Pete Smith, if you are early, can't you go into your drop and see if they can unload you? A lot of places will not let you on the property unless like a 2 hour before your appointment. That's the way a lot of things are. If you're a live unload or a live drop, which I am 99.99% of the time, only time I really drop is at the yard. But if you are a live unload, they have this whole schedule worked out, and they will have it so that you can only come in 2 hours before your appointment. Some places it's an hour. Some places tell you to come in right at your appointment. So most of the time you can't. It matters where you are, where you're going to, if you can go in there early or not. So like this right now, they actually close at noon on Sunday. I've been to this place before doing this same exact load, and I have a 5 a.m. appointment. They do not open the gate until 5 a.m. So there will be trucks all lined up out on the road. We will actually, you know, and I'll be in line. I don't know who, maybe there'll be 3-4 trucks in front of me. By the time I get in there, it'll probably be 5:30. You know, and it's like, and then they yell at us when we sit out on the road. It's like, I'm trying to be on time. You guys are the one, you know, I have a 5 a.m. You're not opening the gate until 5 a.m. So by the time I check in with the security, park, walk into the receiving office, it's 5:30. I'm already late, but there's nothing that can be done with it. It's just the way they do it. Let's see. Ed Corbett says, hey Larry, can you put brighter headlights on Big Blue? I almost hit a bridge. Yeah, I am going to be. One of my LEDs burned out, so I took those off. I put the halogens back in. I've had a wiring issue. I gotta pick up that pigtail. I keep forgetting to do it. Maybe the Boss, there's a Boss Trucks, Boss repair place over here. Maybe they might have that pigtail. If they do, maybe I'll do that today. But then I'm actually going to be wiring in the HID headlights. If you remember the video I did with all the headlight comparisons and all that stuff, with all those different LEDs and halogen and the HID, those HIDs were crazy bright. And I'd like to do that, but there's a lot of wiring to do that, and I'm not a big electrical person. I don't like wiring, but I am going to install those. Those are the headlights that the Boss actually bought for the truck. Tim Woodring, how do you not have sleep apnea with your driving hours? Do the federal mandated hours help or hurt your health in maintaining hours? I've always been a night owl. Just always have been. I like to drive at night, but trucking, that's the way it is. Sometimes you're day, sometimes you're night. You got to roll with it. You can't have set hours. That was the one thing at JB Hunt. JB Hunt was kind of cool because JB Hunt, you had a shift. It was pretty much laid out that you had a shift, and that was pretty cool. But when you're over the road and stuff like this, you kind of got to do what you got to do. The DOT hours, I think it hurts. The way with these ELDs and everything, these electronic logbooks, it hurts. The main problem is that when you come into something, when you come into a bad traffic situation or something, you're coming into Chicago and it's 4:35 and you're coming towards Chicago. With this stuff now, you can't go, you know what, I'm going to pull over and take a 2 or 3 hour nap and then go on through when the traffic's not heavy. With this stuff here, you have to keep going. And in the way that the logs are set up, in the times of the loads and everything, you have to keep the truck moving. So even if you're tired, you got to keep that truck moving to get there to do that. And if you don't, well, then you're screwed up, and then you're losing the day of pay. It's a whole big mess, and then you got headaches, and you got people yelling that you're late, and all this other stuff. Do I think it's hurt stuff? Yeah. In the old days, you could take a logbook. You could, okay, I'm coming in Chicago 4:30. And guess what, guys? Yeah, this is not perfectly legal. But we all did it. But, and the thing is I think it was safer. But you'd come in, be coming into Chicago, and you go, hey, you know what? It's 4:30. I don't feel like going in there, bumper to bumper traffic, dealing with all this, and stressing myself out and causing myself an extra hour and a half, 2 hours of my time trying to get through there and wasting my time. So you pull over and you take a 3-hour nap. Don't even log it. Then you get up, run the thing all through there and everything. You get to where you're going. You log that you got there 2 to 3 hours, whatever you slept for. You log that you got there 2 or 3 hours before that. Was it perfectly legal? No, it wasn't perfectly legal. But you know what? We didn't have to sit in traffic in Chicago and Los Angeles or whatever. Any stuff. If there's a big accident or something like that, you could actually pull off the road and wait for it to be clear. Now you got to sit in there and you got to deal with it. Just my personal opinion. I hear people all the time, well, they weren't legal, it wasn't right. Yeah. Gary Walden, I would hate running the same places. Yeah, it gets a little tiring once in a while. It gets a little bit tiring going the same exact route and stuff. Once in a while, he switches things up. Like tomorrow, I'm going to New Jersey. So that's something a little different. Yeah, it gets a little bit tiring. Yeah, Sam Sullivan. I don't know what's up with this guy. I don't know why I even copied this one. It's whatever. It says you talk too much and your overall attitude is pompous. Whatever. Who cares? If you don't like the video, don't watch it. That's all there is to it. I don't even know why I even say anything about it. It wasn't worth my time even. I think I even erased them or something, or banned them or something like that. And the thing was, is he put it on like 5 videos in a row. He put the same exact comment. He just kept putting it on there. And it's like, then why do you keep watching the videos? That's what you think. It's whatever. Rich Adams, see, maybe next round you can stop at home. Thanks for the videos. I'm starting school next week. But don't laugh at Swift. I'm going to school because of you and John. So thanks for the great inspiration. Well, Rich, I started with Swift. So I think I'm a pretty good truck driver. I think I drive pretty well. I got a great history. I got a great driving history, driving record. And I think I'm a pretty good truck driver. And I started with Swift, and I have no problem. It really doesn't matter what company you go with. When you first start, you have to hold your expectations a little bit low, and you just need to take your time and just learn what you're doing. It doesn't, one person might think that Swift is terrible, and you hear all kinds of bad things from people around by them, but then maybe Schneider works. People around there say, yeah, I work over Schneider, and Schneider's great, but then you go to a different part of the country, and they're not good there. It's wherever you are and whatever works for you. So don't let people get on you. Swift is fine. James Leaky. The stickers look good on the front of Big Blue. Are you thinking about putting another train horn on Big Blue? Looking forward to seeing your trip to Nebraska then to Fort Worth. Yep, I said some of these old. Yep, train horn's right up there. We're gonna mess with it today. Alan Langhorne. I am going to do this. The drawers on this is that toolbox, a real fancy toolbox I bought. The drawers, they don't lock in, but I can tell you right now, it's been back in my side box, and I can tell you that the drawers haven't been opening and closing driving on the road. So it's been all good. But I do think it might happen sometime. And Alan Langhorne, he came up with this idea. See if you can drill a hole from the top, draw it down through the other drawers, make it pin to drop in, Larry, so you just pull it out to open other drawers. That way you're carrying it, drawers won't slide open. Nice tools though. That's a great idea, Alan, and I'm gonna take your suggestion. That is a great idea. I didn't even think of that. The top lid on the toolbox, I'm gonna open it and I'm gonna drill a hole through there all the way down through those 3 drawers, And then I'm going to take like a piece of 1/4 inch round bar stock and cut it so it just sticks up out of there like that far or so up into that top flip up drawer. And then what I'll do is open up the top drawer and I'll drop that bar in there to go through all the drawers. So when you carry it, if it tips or something, the drawers won't open up on it. And then to open it, you just flip open the top, grab a bar with your fingers and pull it out. So next time I get home, I'm going to do that. So Alan, thanks for suggesting. That's a great idea. Katie, does the lumber work for the company that ADL delivers to? Can you explain how that works? Already did that. The shippers are the ones who do that, pay for that stuff. Let's see. John Goody says, I've been asking this for 3 to 5 more months. Okay. How is it that you're working for 2 companies or picking up ADL trailers or loads? John talk of if you still work for WL companies, that don't make sense to me. I know either company can't be okay or legal pick up other trucking companies' trailers with other trucking companies. Yeah, I know it's trucking. You can. Who do you work for, Larry? What is your picking up ADLs without your disc? I don't know where you're getting this from, and I've never heard this asked whatsoever. So for 3 to 5 months, I have no idea what you're talking about. I work for ADL. John works for ADL. We haul ADL trailers. We have never hooked up to another company trailer. At least I haven't. I don't think anybody else has either. We do haul WEL loads once in a while. That is through a broker. We are hauling a WEL load, but it is loaded on an ADL trailer, and we haul that. All the loads that we do, we don't have our own loads. That's the boss's decision. I've said things in the past to him about it. I don't know why he does it all this way, but he does everything through a broker. And what a broker is a broker goes to Nestle and says, I can haul 26 of your loads, and gives them a bid for it. And they say, okay. And then the broker puts it out online, and then trucking companies look at it and go, okay. And they call them up, talk to them. They come to a price agreement with WL, who's the broker, and says, I can haul for this. And they say, okay. And you sign a contract. And then you go there and pick up the load. And when you check in, you tell them, I'm here for WEL. They're the broker. They're the people who bid on the load. It's a middleman. It's the way the country works. Brokers are middlemen. They take a cut out of it, just basically for making a phone call. So we're not hauling other trailers. We never hauled other company trailers. We haul our equipment, but we pick up loads for other companies. Let's see. Shawn Gibbons. Why do truck drivers wear reflective vests all the time? Talking about like this. What do they call this? Personal protective equipment, PPE or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of the companies, Americold or U.S. Colts or whatever, these shippers, receivers, a lot of them will actually require you to wear one of those on their property for their insurance purposes. That's why we have to wear them. We have to carry one in a truck. Truck driver, you got to have one in here. Some places you go into, and there's a sign, if you don't have one of those, they will not check you in. So you got to have one with. So you just carry one with you. It's just got reflective things on there, so it's just for insurance stuff. America's Finest Macco. We were joking around in this video about this, and he says, left lane for life. That's a good t-shirt right there. That's why I copied that. Earl Blackman says, how many miles can you get on full tanks of gas? Well, it's diesel. About 800 is usually what I can do. 700-800 miles. Matters on hills, everything else. Usually when I fuel, it's about anywhere from 130 to about 150 gallons a day. And I do about almost 800 miles a day. Sometimes 650, minimal matters. Matters how much idle, stuff like that. So, there you go. Let's see. Anna Marie. I didn't wear my glasses because I want to look old. Quigley, I think it's cute. Says, hey Larry, I know you've been asked this before. Why did you become a truck driver? I became a truck driver. My brothers, when I was very young, I had a couple brothers that were truck drivers. Been with them, rode around with them a little bit. Been around big equipment all my life on the farm. I owned a hobby store, and that's how I met JBD Travels as the hobby store, because he would fly RC airplanes. And I sold the hobby store. And I was sitting at home, and John was over my house, and we were sitting out in my garage working on an RC airplane we were going to go out and fly with. And we were talking, and I told him, I said, dude, I don't know what I'm going to do now. I just sold my store. And he said, open another store. And I said, well, legally I can't. I was in a contract with because it was Hobbytown USA, and I had to sign a contract with them. Legally, I couldn't open another store for 3 years once I got out of that store. And I said, I don't know what I'm going to really do. And he was a truck driver, and he said, well, drive a truck. And it's like, yeah, I've been with my brothers and stuff. And he said, hey, I'm doing a load tomorrow, going down to Ohio and right back. He says, come ride with me. So I went out for a ride with John, and I said, yeah, I can do this. And so I went to truck driving school and started going. So there you go. Pistol Pete, hi Larry, how did you ever come out with those fancy heated windshield wipers? Last I heard, they weren't very happy with them. Just wondering. It is all wired in. Everything is good. I have like tape over the ends of the wires, so can't get water on them and everything and corrode the stuff. But I have my summertime blades on right now. I have some non-heated blades hooked up. I do have the heated blades. Yeah, I wasn't quite happy with them at the end. They work great. The heated part works awesome. Keeps the snow melted off them. Never had ice and stuff. It was great. But the windshield wipers, they streaked. I didn't like that. So I'm going to contact the company and talk to them about it and see if there's a fix for this, a different type of blade or something like this. But there's also that blade that I found at that Peterbilt place up in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I want to try those too. And those have little motors that you put on the blades, and you can put any windshield wiper blade on there, and then it shakes. So it shakes the ice and stuff. I'm thinking I might want to try those. Maybe do a comparison to the heated ones. We'll see. Jeff 3056, hey Larry, did you do a video on installing a TV? I have a KW, need a replacement to replace an HDMI cord. Was wondering how this was routed and where the cables go behind the wall. I do have a TV in here. I bought a TV at a Walmart, I think it was. It was the biggest TV that could fit on a bracket. And yep, I do have a TV in here. And I have a little screw-in plug for an antenna that's supposed to be built into the truck, but I have a little coax cable to it, and it doesn't pick up any channels. But I really don't care about watching TV. I don't really sit too much to watch TV. I mostly have the TV because I have a PlayStation in here, and so once in a while I'll play a video game. That's the main reason I put it in here, just so I can play with my PlayStation, kill some zombies. I have watched a little bit. This smart TV, I can connect it through Wi-Fi into my TV, and then I can actually watch free TV and get like hundreds of channels. But I found out by doing that, it really kills your data. It really sucks the data out of your phone. So, but yeah, I do have it, but I don't know where the HDMI cable will go in the wall and stuff like that. I just mounted it on a bracket, and I just have a PlayStation behind it. But so. Let's see, same thing. I don't know why. James Zimmerman. How refreshing to listen to two adults have a CB conversation without swearing, just like it used to be, even in my day. And yes, you do need to fix that dump valve on your first hookup. You don't even come close to those two metal bars that protect the fifth wheel. It just rides right up in a pad. Don't think it's going to last very long. Why doesn't the boss have ADL on the side of the trailers? And talks about Eric being a snuggler. I think that we all should go over by Eric's channel and tell him that we don't like his Boss Man Trucker name, and we want him to change it to the Snuggling Trucker. That's pretty good. Let's see. The Kickout plates on the fifth wheel, yes, the trailer does hit it. They do hit it. I've watched it go up and down there many a times. I've watched it on the first time. It did hit those bars. it hits those bars and goes right up over. I was talking about it with John. I was actually at an angle when I came out from underneath it, and so one part of it was touching over on the side and was kind of buckling it up. I need to get my dump valve working. I have talked to many Kenworth places and everything else. Everybody says, oh yeah, we'll figure it out and get back to you, and they take my phone number. I've never gotten a return call. I've stopped at probably 4 or 5 different Kenworth places. I don't know where it is. I can't figure it out. I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna go online and see if I can find like a phone number directly to Kenworth or something and talk to the manufacturing of this, see if I can find somebody who can help me with this. What do I need to make this work? If I can't, I was thinking about like doing like a poor man's version, getting like a valve that's on the trailer tandems back there that it's got a button that you just pull, and it has air lines going to it and it releases air out of it. I was thinking about just mounting some kind of deal back on the frame, so when I go back there and I'm unhooking air lines and I'm going to pull off frame trailer, I can just pop a valve. I mount on the frame someplace, pop the valve, all the air leaks out of the airbags, and I get in the truck and I pull out, and then I can go back there and push the button back in and it'll fill the tanks back up. Kind of thinking maybe something like that. If it comes down to it, that's what I'll do. But I'm going to do something. Why does the boss not have ADL on the side of trailers? I've answered this before. People have wondered that. I don't know. He doesn't put them on there. I don't know why. I would think you would want to, but it's his deal. Let's see here. He's asking about, same guy, he's asking about Quinn Smoker. I've talked about that. He's asked if I still walking and running. I had surgery on my foot. I had an issue with my foot. That's why I had to stop walking and running and stuff. My left foot, I had a very major issue. I've talked briefly about it in past videos that I can't do the running and stuff right now. I had a little minor surgery on my foot. I started running and walking, and I really had some problems with my foot. So I had to end up going up to the doctor and had a little minor surgery. It's all healed up now. It's pretty good. It's feeling real good and everything. So I'm probably going to be starting that again. I want to get back on that. And there you go. He's talking about coming to Memphis and everything. Paul Bissonette, how is the t-shirt store going? It's going good. I've been really overwhelmed, guys. I got a lot of stuff going on. I haven't gotten into any new designs real lately for the YouTube channel stuff. We actually sell a lot of t-shirts to other things. There's other businesses that we deal with the t-shirt stuff. So we do a lot of t-shirt stuff. But my daughter actually decided to put out a discount right now. And if you go and order a t-shirt to September 21st, you get 10% off at checkout if you use the code LongHaul Larry. You'll get 10% off your order. And I will get a new design this week. I will get working on it and stuff, and put together a new design. I have partial design worked out. I just haven't gotten back to it, so I'll get back onto that and get a new design for t-shirts sometime this week. Oh, and there we go. So there we go. Here's all our comments, all answered and everything. Guess what? It's Sunday. Guess what? Yep. Johnny the chicken. He was sitting at home. I haven't been hauling chicken loads. He decided to stay home. He's been in the truck for a little while. He's been sitting here, but he's been pretty quiet because I'm not hauling chicken loads. But he's back in the truck. Yep. I need to have my chicken to talk to once in a while. And guess what? When I brought it home, guess what I found? I found some more Johnny Juniors. So, it's Sunday. So, leave a comment down below this video. I will give away a Johnny Junior. I'll do that on, let's see, it's Sunday. I'll do the drawing on a video on Tuesday. So, I'll give you guys, let's see, Sunday, Monday. Let's go Wednesday. Wednesday morning or something like that, I'll do a drawing. I'll do a random pick of a comment on this video, and we'll give away a Johnny Jr. So there you go. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I got things to do, things to make happen. I gotta mess with this computer. I hate messing with computers. And I will get to you guys later. I'll let you go. So I hope everyone out there is having themselves a great day, great night as they're watching this here video. If you are not, well, we're certainly gonna change it all around and try it all over again tomorrow. I will catch you guys later. See See ya.